On the 25th of May 2020, something terrible happened in the United States of America, in Minnesota. George Floyd was murdered in what was a horrific incident, and it started a chain of events that would stretch out throughout the world. There have been massive protests, massive discussions, as well as debates around this topic and around the topic of racism, that is. Today, we try to address some of it through the game we know, in which it is, let's be honest, far more prevalent than it is usually seen or observed by people. Some cases may go under the radar, some shine up in the media, which I think gives us enough evidence of how we treat racism throughout the world. And I think I speak for all when I say that racism is everywhere. Racism is even in football, in the game we love. And I think
totally.
the best way we can pay tribute to George Floyd and so many other victims of racism by discussing about the whole thing. Because I feel addressing the whole issue is educating people about it. Addressing the whole issue in a platform like this will help us reach out to people, spread awareness about this whole problem. This is a prevalent problem and this is going around the world right now. This needs to stop. Everything that has been going on has put us in a reflectory mode, and we can't help but wonder that sometimes we may have been unintentionally racist, or let's just say we have taken some jokes lightly, let some racist comments pass, and which is wrong. And today we try to address those. Today we try to address racism in football. So bear with us as we do this segment, because this will be tough for us and this will be tough for everyone who listens to this, because we want to educate everyone about this grave problem and this grave situation we as people are in right now. So yeah, I'll just address this to the panel, that we all acknowledge racism in game. Yes?
Yes, totally.
Yes, we do. Yes, totally.
Definitely.
we do agree.
Definitely.
So yeah, as I said, this game is far too precious to let these things continue. And today we discuss some of those landmark incidents that have happened throughout the history and throughout the recent past. Because recently it has been more evident. It has come out in the open because of the media, vigilant media, etc. And so I'd just like to know some of those landmark incidents from the panel that we can remember out of our minds. First thing.
So yes, Arijit, you addressed some really important points in the intro, and that was quite informative as well. As a
man.
football fan, as a football fan, we all, I think, came to know when this issue, how deep rooted the problem of racism in football is, when ex-FIFA president Sepp Blatter himself said that racism is natural. I don't agree with that, and I guess you guys don't agree as well.
Yeah, definitely we don't.
That's a barbaric comment, man.
Yes. So I think he has publicly apologized for that comment, but only apologizing does not solve the issue in itself, because racism has been a prevalent issue for all the people around the world, and football is no exception. So speaking of racist incidents in the past, it will be quite unfair of me to not mention the Suarez and Evra incident that took place in 2014. So as a Liverpool fan, Arijit, I'd like to know your take on it.
Yeah, so about that Evra Suarez incident, it was a whole stretched out story, to be honest, and it came into the highlight due to the media's pressure over the whole situation, and because it involved two of the biggest clubs in England, nay Europe, let's be honest. And yeah, at first Liverpool Football Club stood behind its player, because Suarez said that he did not actually mean anything by his comment, and that he referred to the people of color in Uruguay by that word. And for a while, people in Liverpool believed him. But then when the whole thing happened, when he came back against United and he refused to shake hands with Evra, I think that was the sign of a guilty man, and that was a sign of disrespect.
Exactly.
Let's be honest,
Exactly.
if he had not racially abused Evra in the first instance, he actually showed some disrespect to Evra when he came back. And that was, I think, the moment when I lost respect for Luis Suarez, because you can be a shithouse, you can be anything in football, but you cannot be a racist. You cannot discriminate people because of their color. That is
You
not
should
just
not.
not done.
Yeah.
You cannot call them names. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, I think my stance has not changed over it, and yeah, of course, I'll be criticized by some Liverpool fans that by saying that I did not support my player. It's not about that. It's about the human thing, and Liverpool has been better than that, and Liverpool is better than that. So I think I represent the values of Liverpool by saying that I stand strictly against Suarez on that matter, and I still don't change my point. And it was very nice of Jamie Carragher in that Sky Sports video to address the fact, and he apologized to Evra for that whole incident on the behalf of the Liverpool side.
Yeah.
And it was very
Yeah.
mature and very sensible thing to do because it was needed to be done.
Yeah, I think
So
it takes
yeah,
really some guts to like admit your mistakes, right, Arijit? So I think Jamie Carragher has done the right thing.
yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. So Rishran, you talk about one of the biggest landmark incidents in the recent times, I think, and I'd just like to know more about these incidents because let's get it out in the open and discuss about
Okay,
this whole
yeah.
thing.
I remember a recent
yeah.
one.
Yeah, Saurav, go on. Yeah.
Last
Yes,
year,
Saurav, go on.
in the Euro 2020 qualifiers, it was a
Yeah,
match.
against
It was a match between Bulgaria and England, I suppose.
in the
And
month of October.
oh yeah. So the stadium was already half filled because due to UEFA restrictions, because the same Bulgarian fans, chanted their racial abuses against the Czech Republic fans and the team as well. So that was a really horrific incident to be told upon. So in that match too, they chanted racial abuses, and so the people who were making up the mess were kicked out from the stadium, and also the match was brought to a halt, I guess, 2 times to be true.
2 times,
And
yes.
yeah, in the end, the match was successfully completed because it was guts of the English players to come back to the ground and play for their nation, irrespective of the disastrous comments that they were facing. And yeah, definitely the UEFA protocols have been applied to the matches, and yeah.
Also, the aftermath was that 16 were arrested and 6 were given full lifetime ban on stadiums
Oh
for
yeah.
attending all the Europe. So it was a good gesture by that UEFA say no to racism policy. Also,
Definitely.
the
So,
Bulgarian FA.
do you guys remember
Yeah.
that case which took place in I think Villarreal?
Oh
Someone
yeah.
someone
Yeah,
threw a
threw a
banana at
banana
Daniel
at
Alves.
Danny Alves,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Daniel
And
His
Alves.
he
reaction
It
was hilarious, man.
that was
Yeah,
humorous. Yeah.
he took the banana and he scored one and gave 2 assists, I think so. He won the match.
Damn,
Wow.
that's
That's a
a
bold
very
reply. Yeah, definitely.
that is a
Definitely.
yes.
Also, adding to that, the aftermath of the match was that the Bulgarian president, what he said that, but he did not acknowledge that racism was there in the stadium. But after so many reports by the media, so he apologized and later he resigned from that position. So he showed that he was guilty later on. Also, Gareth Southgate said that the England team showed more than a team in the pitch.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
had
so
they posed a really bold move by coming back to the pitch and play for their nation. In the end, they
absolutely.
won. They won 6-0, I guess.
Yes, they won.
Yeah, that was a huge victory for them, and that was in the face of those Bulgarian ultras. And also, not recalling much back, like being a citizen, I'm also ashamed for a particular incident in the Manchester Derby
Yeah,
last year. Yeah. So some City fans, as they were, losing 2-1, so they were pelting things upon Fred. He was taking a corner from the left flank, I guess. So they were pelting things on him, and they were chanting racial abuses on him. So yeah, I felt bad actually that people, like, as a football fan, you should respect the players that who put their blood and sweat in the game. Like, you should not curse, or you should not at least,
abuse
yeah,
the players.
you should not at least pollute the environment that the players are playing in. Yeah.
And of course, it is a beautiful game. So
Yeah,
we should
definitely.
all.
It shows solidarity on its own.
Yeah, that
The
just
game.
maligns the whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Also, do you remember last
exactly.
season? It was Arsenal versus Tottenham, and a Tottenham supporter threw a banana peel at Aubameyang.
At Aubameyang,
Yeah,
Man,
yeah. So like, I would like to ask Mitsu because he's a Spurs fan. Like, what do you make of it?
Yeah, that was one of the most strangest incidents of. Actually, why I'm saying this is a strange incident is that because the clarification that the fan gave, the name of the fan was Penteli, I guess, something Penteli, A Penteli, I guess. He said that during after the investigation that he was charged for the incident, that he said the banana peel was the nearest object that he found in order to throw at Obama. Come on, this is such nonsense of a clarification from a racist. Obviously, just tell me why would a Fleeto supporters have a pillow banana on the stadium or into the grounds on the away ends? That is not possible at all. It was the intention of this guy that he just wanted to slang himself into this racial identity that he has. And I would say on this behalf, he was investigated and then charged 500 euros and both banned from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as well as the Emirates for a lifetime ban. And this is the thing that all our supporters, these individuals are the ones who stagnate the entire fleet of ranks of supporters, the fans who go to enjoy a certain game of football, support their team. And these are the ones who contaminate and gives football a very bad name.
Yeah, I agree to that. And also, if you could remember, Mitchell, that in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Antonio Rudiger was facing racial comments or abuses from the Spurs fans, I guess.
Yes.
Was that right?
About that one thing I
Wasn't
would
that
say. The thing is, people might have a different opinion in association to mine. But the thing is, I need to clarify one thing. See, whenever a situation gets as massive or mammoth as the situation of racism, and that was the time in the entire circumstantial sphere of the time that's when England and entire Europe was facing a big problem with racism because even Italy and the other nations were not able to fight these individuals who are stagnating the entire supporters and the name of football. So I would want to say one thing. I believe this is a heat of moment. What happened in the institution is that during the match, Antonio Rudiger was hearing racial slurs from the Tottenham supporters, and Christian Eriksen, Cesar Espelicueta, and as well as the referee halted the match
Yeah,
for
they were very
the
supportable with
uh,
Rudiger in
so,
the moment.
because no
Definitely.
matter if he's playing for your enemy team or your opposition, a player is one of the colleagues of each and everyone, and the respect of its that is what is required in the pitch. But then,
Totally.
one
Yeah.
thing I'm actually a bit I don't know. I guess why I shouldn't be. I guess this should be one of the association me of supporting Tottenham. But then Tottenham in association with PFA and the Chelsea players and the board of Chelsea went on to go on to a very stratified investigation on this manner, and then Tottenham Hotspur even released an official statement from the club that they would go on to investigate it. And then, but then after 3 to 4 times of the re-evaluation of the investigation, the Tottenham Hotspur said that there's no evidence found to support the allegations for racism for the fans toward the
Yeah,
Chelsea
I
player of
also remember
Antonio Rudiger.
that
So
official
yeah,
lip readers were hired, I guess, to go
yes,
on
yes,
through
yeah.
the
Yeah,
videos.
yeah. The decision was announced in February, I think so, December incident.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
no one was found
Many of
guilty. Actually.
many of the mail outlets like Daily Mail from then we
That
have
thing blew up. Yeah.
Telegraph. They said that it was the current reality is that Antonio Rudiger apparently he did not hear it. Like the hearing was only his individual association with it. Okay, one thing associated with the entire incident is that although racism is a very fleetal thing that all of the people associated with all of the people, it becomes a communal thing, it becomes a community thing. But the racism also has this other side of the coin that some individuals there are who gives bad names to the other supporters by doing racial behaviors. There are some ones I believe at this incident taking advantage of the situation as well. So with all due
but
respect,
it's
I have
very rare.
nothing.
But it's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
rare.
it's
Just to
very rare.
say,
With all due respect, I have
very rare.
nothing against this. I have nothing against it. But yeah,
Nobody
we
has.
know, like even we know, for example, if I'd say with all due respect, even Delhi Ali goes on diving sometimes. Even professional players go dive to just to get a penalties, to get a free kick, to get a set piece. So players have this aura associated with themselves that they can, whenever they want, they could change the situation of the pitch. So yeah, it's very individual thing that happens. So I just want to clarify the entire evidences and the facts associated with the
Yeah, yeah.
with this incident
Yeah,
actually.
the
Yeah,
players
Yeah,
should
Mitchell,
not
we get it. Yeah.
actually.
You
Yeah, go on.
no, it's all fine. That's
Yeah,
like,
I think he's talking about that the individual does not represent the collective, just like those fans who allegedly chanted those racist slurs do not represent the entire Tottenham fan base, because we know them to be respectful, we know them to be to have
Definitely,
absolute knowledge of
definitely.
football.
Yeah. Only a
Yeah,
few bunch of people, bring disgrace to the whole fan community of a club.
But then again, I think
which is unfair to be honest. Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it's also the team's responsibility as a whole to nip racism in the bud, prevent from spreading it. They have a responsibility in that part. So I hope they. I mean, there have been plenty of anti-racism campaigns, but so far it has not worked. So hopefully it'll work in the future. Hopefully, because this whole George Floyd incident has triggered a massive global response to this.
I agree. So yeah, sticking to Premier League itself, I would like to talk about a horrific incident that Raheem Sterling faced when he was playing for England, as because he was facing racial slurs from his own countrymen. Like that was something you won't even think about to happen, even in your nightmares, to be true. So he faced a lot. He had a very difficult childhood to acknowledge, and he was a bit money minded. Being a citizen, I also acknowledge that, because when he was in Liverpool, he was a class player, and he still is a class player. But he was a bit, a bit in it for the money. So
look,
yeah,
yeah,
he
Saurav, I think I need to address this point because, of course, I felt really bad when Sterling left the club. It was under very horrific circumstances, and it was not a good situation. And yeah, there is some hatred over the
yeah,
Anfield
he
faithful over
actually,
Raheem
demanded
Sterling. But
for a.
I think,
Yeah, go on.
yeah, I remember the whole thing. Yeah, so I think I speak about all of the Anfield faithful and of course all the Liverpool fans worldwide, that we like we may hate him, we may boo him when he comes to play here, but we don't want something so barbaric as racism or racist comments to be passed at him, because he's still our player, he's still a player, and
Mhm.
he's still a human. No one
Exactly,
deserves this,
that's
and
what
no
I'm
one
saying.
should
Like,
deserve this.
even if you hate a player from your own team because of his misconducts or his bad decisions over time, but you never use
Yeah, yeah,
such a sensitive a topic like such as racism to
yeah, yeah,
address a player from your own
yeah.
team or any other team, to be true.
Yeah, you should never mix social problems, social issues with the game you love. And
Exactly.
I think this your addressal of the whole situation with Raheem Sterling. I think he's faced many racial comments from in many matches I have seen, and it has been all over the news. And I think I have to credit the media on this, that they have covered this vigilantly and they have not let it slide, because earlier it used to
Yeah.
slide. Other black players in England also faced racism and racist slurs when they used to play in the early 2000s, as well as before the millennium started. It used to slide, but the media not letting this slide is actually helping in making people aware about the whole thing. So yeah, Saurav, I admire your courage to address the whole thing, and I admire everyone who has addressed the frailties in their clubs, in their own fans, but then also defended the whole thing, that it does not represent the collective. It is usually an individual who does this horrific act.
Adding to the horrific incidents of the landmark incidents that we have discussed here, like I want to also address one certain thing about the Russian Premier League is that club of Zenit St. Petersburg, who gave the work permit to Malcolm play as the striker to the team. He, from the supporters, have been facing a lot of racist slurs, a lot of racist advance towards him. Even all to that, even in addition to that, it shows the driving power of Malcolm, that even after facing this certain situations like this, is still playing for the club and showing his passion towards this club. Because sometimes the game of football and love towards it is bigger than these people who try to destroy the name of it. So there's a very horrific incident in Russia that happens under the banner of St. Petersburg. With this, I would like to also give the banner back to Arijit and like to talk about the other countries who face these cyber situations. Just
Yeah,
address
me
them
too.
in if possible.
Yeah, me too. I think you make an excellent point about Zenit St. Petersburg, and it is very horrible what is happening there, and it is still happening, I think. And yeah, while talking about this topic and talking about racism, let's talk about the biggest incidents that has occurred and which has been far too common for my liking, for everyone's liking in the game of football. Let's talk about Italy and the racism in Italy, which shows a lack of administration, lack of acknowledgement of the whole thing. And I'd just like to know the views of the panel on this, on the whole situation of racism in Italy, that is.
So yeah, I remember a particular match. It was a friendly actually. AC Milan played against an Italian club, Pro Petria, where the fans of Pro Petria they use racial abuses, racial slurs against. To be precise, Kevin Prince Boateng was their target, and Soliman to some extent, yeah. And immediately after 10 or 20 minutes of the play, players they dishearteningly walked off the pitch, abandoning the match themselves, because that was, I guess, that was a bold move, and that was the right move to be true at that point of time, because when you dedicate yourself to a particular game, and then outsiders or the street hooligans or the racial activists, they come to the stadium and stagnate the aura of the football ground with such foul language, you yourself don't acknowledge the situation to be perfect to play. And also stressing upon in another situation from AC Milan itself, where Kevin Constant walked off from a match against Sassuolo even after the referee insisted him to play along. And to be true, Italian authorities are a bit hazy on this stuff. They don't take proper actions to omit this kind of thing, kind of act.
Yeah, exactly. So, like adding to two racial incidents from Italy, I would like to add two as well, which were pretty horrific in my opinion. The first one is to Kalido Koulibaly. It was the match between Inter Milan and Napoli. It was a brilliant game until the racist chant started against Koulibaly. The sole reason was he was the best man on the pitch. He was playing his heart out for his team, but like the Inter fans didn't appreciate that, and they started making monkey chants, to which Koulibaly got agitated and he tried to applaud them. But to my surprise, referee intervening to stop the match, interrogate any further, he gave a straight red card to Koulibaly and sent him off the pitch. So I think that speaks volume how Italian Football Federation is incompetent to fight this racism. And the second incident
Also,
is what happened to Moise Kean.
Christian, adding to
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
Koulibaly also faced racism before that match also. After regular
yeah,
match
yeah.
days, racism changed. But
Yes,
it was a great gesture by him that he said that he is proud of his skin color. It was
yes,
against
yes,
racism.
exactly. Like I said, he
Definitely,
was the
that's
best man on
nothing
the
to be
pitch.
ashamed
Yes,
of. Yeah.
yes, exactly. So, and the second incident, I'll have to go to like the 19-year-old Moise Kean, what he faced against Cagliari. So, like
Yeah.
two things that are common in both the incidents are that the black player on the pitch, they are the best players on the pitch. That is what is wrong in these eyes of these racist fans. So what happened was the Moise Kean incident is far shocking to me because after Moise Kean celebrated and he got the monkey chants from the fans, instead of the club intervening to like support the 19-year-old, their legendary player Bonucci, he blamed Moise Kean for being racially abused, and also their manager Max Allegri, whom I respected a lot. But I think he has lost a bit of respect in my eyes after what he said, because he said that it is a 50-50 part, and Moise Kean is to be blamed as well. So I think
It's absolute
these
Also
bullshit.
adding to
incidents
that,
speak.
also adding
Yeah,
to that, I saw a post from Juventus in which the players wore the Black Lives Matter
Huh.
T-shirts. It's
yeah,
really ironic
exactly.
because
That's
Yes,
a
really ironic.
complimentary thing to do.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't acknowledge
It's
these
not ironic. Let's just say it's very hypocritical of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
yes.
You can say
yes,
so.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like because imagine being a 19-year-old black kid. He was the best man on the pitch that day, but like your talents rather being appreciated are like mocked by other people because just because of your skin color. So that is something that is intolerable and really disgusting in my opinion. The only
I think this
person that came,
yeah.
yeah,
This
the
I think
only
that played
person.
a crucial role in him going to Everton also, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Adding to that, Everton, I think they
They
did a very good. Yeah, in the
presented.
presentation of Moise Kean, yeah, him and his mother were presented to Everton T-shirts with the "Say No Racism" motto. I think it was a very
Great gesture.
wholesome and very beautiful gesture by the
Yeah.
Evertonians.
Just like to add on to this Italy cases, and let's just talk about Balotelli and what started from Italy. He went throughout Europe and he almost faced racist chants throughout his career. And yeah, of course, professionally he has not helped himself because sometimes
Yeah,
he has a tendency to terminate his own contract. Let's just be honest. But then
yeah, Brescia incident.
that does not justify
Yeah,
in him getting those unfair comments, racist slurs, etc. I remember him multiple times crying on the pitch, asking the referee to stop this nonsense. And I feel for Balotelli. I felt for him throughout his career. He has faced some unfair criticism throughout his life, and even in the Euro final, after he lost it, he faced racial slurs from his own fans, and that was very sad to see. And that maligns the beautiful game that we love. Does anyone
Yeah.
have to add anything
The
on that?
Yeah, I would like to add one thing that on the same note, actually, Balotelli was even racially discriminated from his own national team, that
Yeah.
is Italy. Yeah, he was not allowed to join
Exactly.
even
Yeah.
the team, the playing 11, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong on that. Yeah, that's my
Also
take.
adding
Yeah.
to
You're
that,
correct. Absolutely.
also
yes, yes.
Mancini is giving good chances to him, and he's performing very well in the national side. So
Yeah. In the case of Moise Kean, he was the first person to come and support Moise Kean like publicly. So yeah, I think that speaks volume of like for this man.
Yeah, Mancini has always showed a certain respect towards the game. He was a fantastic football player. He is a good manager. He was a good manager for Manchester City as well, and he has been a spokesperson in these sort of things. And that is the way to lead. That is the way to represent your values. And I think he represents the Italy that we want to believe in, and not the Italy
Yes,
we see.
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just like to know the thoughts of the other members of the panel on this Italy issue. Does anyone have to add anything on it that you
I
remember
think
out of your the first thing out of
I
your
have
mind?
to add something. I have to add something.
Yeah,
Like
Anish, go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go.
how Mancini started playing in the international team, started giving chances. Like I think that no matter what you say, Moiskin would have never been able to perform for Juventus because you need a particular surrounding, to play
Yes, yes,
well.
yes, yes. I agree.
And
I agree. Yes.
I think because of racism, a lot of players have not been able to play that well, and it has destroyed their careers. Actually, I
Yes,
mean,
exactly.
as you said that Malcolm has been facing racism. To be honest, he has to leave the club. He needs to leave the club because that's not an environment to play football in. That's all.
yeah. You cannot worry about your complexion. You cannot worry about what the people will say. That is not related to football. You cannot worry
And
about those things.
it is
Football
really
itself gives
funny.
you so much to worry about, and
Yes.
these things are beyond it. I feel. Yeah, Dishran, I think you were saying something. Yeah.
Yeah, like it is really funny how like racial incidents really take place really frequently in Italy, but like the Italian football authorities don't like they have I think always turned a blind eye to it. So that is what has encouraged the racist hooligans to
come
what
up
do you say
again,
that
come
like
up again
come
during
up
the match.
again and again. Yes, exactly. So I think if the like Italian FA starts handing proper punishments, handing proper fines, banning people, like I think this can be minimized to an extent. But like right now, the situation in Italy is like really awful. It is really sad.
Yeah, Dishran, I think that's all I can remember about these incidents because, yeah, I think we may not know about all the incidents because those represent some dynamics that are beyond us, to be honest. And yeah, not knowing about those things does not give us the right to talk about it. And sincere apologies if we missed anything, if we missed any landmark cases, because it is bound to happen because it is so blatant
Yeah.
and it is happening everywhere. And to follow up with it has been an excruciating task. And we just spoke our minds on the whole issue. So yeah, again, apologies if we missed anything, if we missed any major cases. So moving on in this whole racism scenario, I would just like to say some leagues have appointed anti-racism campaigns, And Tandeep was talking about anti-racism campaigns that the leagues have taken, because Tandeep, as we all know, he likes to believe the good in people. And I think I'll just let Tandeep speak about this whole thing. Tandeep.
First of all, I would like to say about the Premier League. So the Premier League recently started a campaign known as Kick It Out campaign. So according to this campaign, the captains were seen wearing armbands, carrying this mark saying "Kick It Out." Also in the academy matches too. Then before this pandemic thing, the players were gathering together before the kickoff to show their fight against discrimination. Then they also, the hoarding and the banners, many were marked with quoted line saying that no room for racism. I think everyone saw that.
Yes, yes.
Also,
Yeah.
Arsenal players were seen wearing black shirt in their support for Black Lives Matter
That
in
was
a
yesterday,
training session. I'm sure Anish is proud of his team now. Aren't you?
Everybody loves Arsenal.
Everyone
Everybody loves
Everybody
us.
loves
Everybody loves Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And many more clubs are doing their, trying their efforts to kick this racism out of this beautiful game. And I hope to, see this in the future games. Okay, then moving on to La Liga. So La Liga recently signed collaboration with an international organization for migration, shortly known as IOM, in Cairo, to help tackle racism and end human trafficking in sport. I think they did it because many young players were, unexpectedly misused and exploited by some recruiters. I think that's a bad gesture from the, club scout. I think
Yeah,
so.
exactly. From the
Yeah. So
Saurav was also saying about the grassroots. They are exploited from the grassroots program.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
He has-
Definitely,
it's
they
a
are
it's
like
a
their whole footballing career is spoiled, I guess.
yeah
If they
yeah
are, if they face such racial abuses at such a tender age, like
their minds would get
yeah, rattle down
gibberish.
to
So moving on, they also launched a number of campaigns, a number of projects such as lectures and activities in schools, workshop on integrity and prevention of violent and racist behavior. So hope to see more from the clubs and the fans. Now moving on to Syria, the Syria recently they used images of monkeys in an anti-racism campaign where three monkeys are painted in three different shades. For some clubs like AS Roma and AC Milan, it was
Yeah.
kind of zone.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
other
Saurabh?
tweets of AC Milan and the
Yeah.
AS Roma. They're posting the picture of the painter named Simeon Fugazato, I think so. I don't remember his name.
Simon Fugasto.
Yeah. His painting was tweeted by AC Milan and AS Roma, condemning that they don't believe in this painting that it is against racism. So
Yeah. However, the painter defended his creation, saying that we are all monkeys, is irrespective of their color. Now, if we look back a year ago, I think Dristiron or mentioned about Khalidou Koulibaly. Am I right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So he was racially abused by Inter fans, calling him a monkey.
It was a league match. Yeah, league
Yes, Inter Milan versus Napoli. I think that's very sad. And also this year, we witnessed Romelu Lukaku getting abused by the Cagliari fans by making, monkey noises, and many more cases like you all mentioned earlier about Mosekin and many other players who have suffered racism. So yeah, that's what inspired the painter to portray this metaphor for human being. I would like to know all of your thoughts about this painting. That what do you all think about this beautiful creation? For me, I think it's a great start, and I think it will go on in the future. What about you all?
yeah, I saw that painting. It was a painting of three monkeys, I think so. So the
Yeah.
painting was that it was the face of the monkey was colored with three colors, like the football,
Yeah, blue, red, and some kind of
Yeah, with
some kind of
the
rainbow. Yeah.
with
no,
the
no, no.
shade.
That was the
No.
that was the design of that was the design of the Nike Merlin
Ape.
ball.
Yeah, Nike. Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
saying it was a ball
Mm.
because the Serie A uses the Nike ball, I think so.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Nike Merlin
Yes.
48 Serie A actually. Yes.
Yeah, it was a great painting. So I think so they
Yeah.
signed that
It was a
all
bold
are
statement.
equal.
It's very
All are equal.
Yeah, very bold.
irrespective of the
Okay,
color.
Completely good
I'd have
gesture.
to disagree with Swagatam on this.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, you say that he explained the whole thing, and then I just think that using monkey itself in a painting, like, it's wrong.
Yeah, it was
it
a,
is
it was a bit edgy, I think so. Edgy use.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
a bit
I feel
edgy.
like if you're trying to make a statement about it, dumb it down. Don't make it in a way that you have to explain the whole thing again.
I think
So
the players.
obvious that it is easy to understand.
So I think with that
Yeah.
with that point, the painter draw a fabulous painting, mocking
Yeah,
those
just like I
racist.
said, portrait.
So it's like everybody is like, there are two opinions on this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, obviously,
That
yeah.
should not
Two
be- that
sides
should
of
not
the
be-
whole thing. Yeah.
There are always just two sides of a coin. You cannot agree with it. You have to one.
But in these situations, you cannot
You
have
could-
those two sides,
I mean,
right?
it
You have
could
to be
agree with-
straight on point.
So it wasn't the best painting, but it was a bold attempt. I'd say.
bold. Yes.
I think it's a good start.
Yeah, it's like you end up melting a sword whenever you try to sharpen it. So that's the metaphor associated with the entire painting, I believe. So
Excellent.
God, that was
Oh,
that was
it was
uncalled for.
poetic, bro.
That
That
was
was
uncalled
poetic.
for.
That was very poetic.
That was uncalled for, but correct. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, our own Peter Drury right here.
Yeah.
moving on to that. What are the other
Okay,
things
okay.
that you'd like to be addressing onto this?
So moving on to the German league, the Bundesliga. So in the recent match day, we have seen players paying tribute to the late George Floyd through a message on the T-shirt, which it was quoted, "Justice for George Floyd." Also, we have seen, the teams took a knee before their games, and also talking about some clubs like Borussia Dortmund. I think Borussia Dortmund was named the Equal Game Award winner in recognition of the Bundesliga clubs who are fighting racism, discrimination, and promoting diversity.
Yeah, Dhandeep, like adding to your statement, I would like to say that Jadon Sancho, like after scoring his hat-trick, I think took off his shirt to like show his respect for late George Floyd and
Yes,
towards the
yes,
Black Lives
yes.
Matter movement. And like he was handed the yellow card by the referee, to which the German Football Association has come forward and said that let all the players show their support and protest against racism as they want, because like this is a worldwide movement. I think it is a very beautiful and good gesture by the German FA.
To lift up his yellow card.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I think I have to agree with Dushan on this one, and let's just acknowledge the fact that Bundesliga has done its bit, or rather, Bundesliga's players have done their bit in paying their respective tributes to George Floyd. And yeah, some of the leagues have not been continued there, like Ligue 1, but then the clubs have continued to support this movement in some way or the other by posting about this thing. Most of the players took a knee. They're terming it as another campaign so far, taking a knee to
Right.
respect the life of
good
George Floyd,
gesture.
to respect the people who lost their lives to this barbaric thing.
Also
Yeah.
to those victims.
Yeah, so we've talked about these incidents, and we've talked about the anti-racism campaigns by these respective leagues. In all that, we have this one common proponent, one common factor: football. And I'd just like to know the views of the panel on this, and I just like to know how football can bring about the change in the society, can educate people about the whole thing. So yeah, panel, can you just elaborate on this?
I believe that the thing is, the game of football is football of culmination of all itself. It's a game of harmony because a lot of players from different nations, irrespective of their culture, irrespective of their race, irrespective of the community they belong to, even religion, they come into one club and they start playing with people of different nationalities. They become friends and they represent football by themselves. So the game of football itself is a platform that provides no space, no room for racism. It's its own way of saying to the world that this is a game, or this is a sport where harmony and peace and love towards each other is much more bigger than something racism associated with it. What do you say about this, Anish?
Yeah, I think we all know that football is a global sport, right? So like we know that how diverse the fan bases have become in recent years. So like it doesn't matter what the differences are, anybody can support the club. I think racism is destroying this global nature of football. Like players are scared to join clubs who support racist fan bases, and it is a threat to the growth of this beautiful game. Yeah, so like that's it.
You guys make some excellent points here. I think football is the only way to bridge the gap between something so hateful to something that can be changed, and something that can be changed to love and respect for the game. We all want to see a footballing community, a football in which the word we use that starts with R stands for respect and not for racism. And with this, I would just like to say that we have done our bit by talking about these problems, because let's just say it has not been comfortable for us to discuss about these things, because we have had to revisit most of the things while we are talking about it. And yeah, I can only imagine how tough it has been for the players who have faced this, like on the pitch, beyond the pitch, everywhere they go sometimes.
Totally.
Yeah, they carry it with them. It has scarred football fans and scarred players for life who have taken up the responsibility to fight against this. They have been criticized, but they have stood strong, and we would like to stay strong with them. So with that, I would just like to conclude, and I'd just like to say, let's just say no to racism.